Good afternoon. Welcome. It's unusual that they say good afternoon. It's usually good evening because their meetings usually start because of another obligation, a graduation coming up later today. Then we're going to need to have the meeting at this point in time. So I'd like to welcome you here to the May 10th, 2021 regular board meeting. And we will begin with invocation from the board, and I'd like to recognize Mrs. Ann Edwards.
Thank you. When my children were young, they learned a song that had these lines. I am a promise. I am a possibility. I am a great big bundle of potentiality. Now don't worry, I'm not going to sing that song to you. But 3 words: promise, possibility, potential. That's what I've chosen for focus. This Board of Education visits our schools very often, and in doing so, these 3 words have been very clearly in focus. Since our last meeting, I've observed all of the following. At the of the year celebration, which we all like so much, we celebrated the promises of expectations. At our senior graduation events, which are upcoming and which begin today at our 5 high schools, we will start with early college high school this evening. We are going to celebrate scholarships, academic achievements, successes in leadership. And all of these things bring out the possibilities of what will be for our seniors through the work that they've persevered in the last years. And finally, when we visited the middle schools this past couple of weeks and the elementary schools, we have observed a wonderful program called Wit and Wisdom, which is leading academic growth for our students. And we are celebrating the potential of what will happen with reading and writing. So tonight I ask you to bow with me for a moment of silence and grateful reflections for all of our educators and administrators and our staff who strive so hard consistently to help our children and our young adults not only reach their potential and possibilities, but live up to their promise.
Thank you, Mrs. Edwards. Next on the agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance, and that's being led this afternoon by Mrs. Libby Brown, Director of Community Relations.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome to everybody that's joined us virtually here, and I understand we have some students in the classroom. We're glad that you're able to join us as well. Next is the approval of the agenda. Do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as presented? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And that motion passes. Next is our consent approval of all of our meetings during the month of April, those including April 1st work session minutes, April 12th regular school board meeting, April 12th closed session minutes in general account, and April 29th work session minutes. So do I hear a motion that we approve all items 3B through 3E as presented?
I make a motion to approve by consent items 3B through 3E.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And Next, we have announcements. I'd like to recognize Mr. Joe Sims.
So, beginning, the last day for students is May the 28th, and that's also an early release day. The last day for teachers is June the 7th. Today at 5 p.m., we're going to be able to celebrate the early college high school graduation. On May 21st at 7 p.m., we're going to be able to celebrate the CASA graduation. And then the traditional high schools will be on May 22nd. South Caldwell will be at 9 a.m., West Caldwell 11:30, and High Broughton's is at 3. And then we have 2 upcoming meetings for June. The work session June the 1st, and our regular scheduled board meeting is June the 7th.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Dr. Fitz, you have some items to add to that.
Chairman, I wanted to just remind folks that we have year-end events coming up as we close out the last couple of weeks here of the school year. But we can't end the year with the same types of activities that we do in the past, and I think the general public is aware of that now. We will continue to follow the protocols that are in place given the governor's executive order, as well as guidance from the Department of Health and Human Services. Any gatherings that we have that are of substantial size, we certainly are going to try to do outdoors. This includes graduations, and hopeful that weather will cooperate with that. But then individual schools may have other activities and events, and we're dealing with those one-on-one. But we just ask for your patience and understanding as we try to get through this school year, and hopefully we'll be able to do things on a normal fashion next year. I also wanted to reflect, and Mrs. Edwards mentioned this, our Of the Year event was held last week. It was a nice 80s theme that many folks got into in terms of costume, and it was just a wonderful event. I think when we walked away from that, anybody involved should have felt great about the team that we're associated with. Everyone who was nominated, the folks who ultimately won, it's just an incredible tribute to those individuals to be recognized, and we're so fortunate to have them as a part of our team, and I couldn't be prouder of a day like that, a night of celebration like that, but more importantly, what those folks do in our schools day in and day out. We're so grateful. Speaking of being grateful, we have a retirement celebration scheduled for June the 2nd. This is going to be a little different than usual. You may recall last year we literally had a drive-by in front of the building. This year we're going to do a little bit more than that. We're still limited on what we can do. We're going to have an event for all of our retirees for this year that will begin at 10 o'clock across the street at Roy Hill. And as the participants leave that meeting, we're going to provide them with a bagged lunch. But we do want to have a ceremony and be able to have some time with them. So that will be on June the 2nd. And then finally, our board had the opportunity last week to tour Granite Falls Middle School. Our entry into that building is delayed yet again for a variety of reasons, but we were in a meeting today, several of us, and just the idea of the inability to get laborers to do certain jobs is really setting things back, and I think this is a really good example of how that can happen. So we continue to be patient, yet excited and anxious and ready to get into that building, and we're grateful for those folks that are out there day in and day out doing the job to help us get ready for that. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps. I think we all truly enjoyed the Of the Year event. A number of people dressed up, and our own superintendent was the one that a lot of people couldn't figure out who it was, but it was a great evening indeed, and had a great band. Sunset Strip did a great job. We had a couple of our own employees, one a principal and one a band director that were a part of that group, and they were outstanding. But most of all, we appreciate the great talent we have in Caldwell County. A number of us on the board have been on these committees before, and we know that to be nominated from your school is a great honor. To win it for the county is unbelievable, and it's extremely difficult for committee members to pick a winner, because you really have some great people out there in Caldwell County schools, and we're very fortunate. Next, we have honors and recognition, and I'd like to recognize Mrs. Libby Brown, Director of Community Services.
Good afternoon.
It is great to recognize your faces this afternoon. It was a great event last week, and it was very enjoyable, and we've gotten so many good positive comments from that Excellence in Education event, Dr. Griffin. I know how hard your department worked on that, as in many others here at the Education Center. But now we're going to focus on honors and recognition. And Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Branch, board members, Dr. Phipps, we always love starting this part of our honors with character education. And this month, we will recognize the character traits of honesty and integrity. And those were the character traits in April. So those students have been selected to represent the elementary, middle school, and high school levels. So today, it is a little different in that our students are joining us today in their classrooms and with their principals supporting them, and right there, being able to get cheers and recognition, and just that good feel of being right there with their classmates. So we are going to start with the elementary level. Zoe Gutierrez at Lower Creek Elementary School is a fourth grader. And she is in Mrs. Suzanne Bullock's classroom right now, and Kim Case is principal. So if we can find Zoe and Mrs. Bullock's classroom, I think they're on there with us. Kathy, I don't know if you see them, but we have a couple of.
Hi, Libby. We are right here. Zoe waved to them.
Oh, wonderful. Well, congratulations. And honesty and integrity are the noblest of characteristics. And sometimes in today's world, that character trait seems to be compromised and defined in so many different ways. And we are just so proud of you for the honesty that you have displayed, Zoe. And honesty sometimes is doing what's right when no one is watching. So we know that you're being a great example for the students at Lower Creek Elementary School. Would you like to say something, Zoe?
You want to tell them?
Yeah.
Just say it out loud.
I'm proud that I got this award.
I don't know if you were able to hear. She said that she was very proud that she was able to get this award.
And we're very proud of you. So let's give Zoe a big round. And at the middle school level, we have Josiah Jojo Pope. He is from Kings Creek School, 7th grade. Mrs. Brawley's classroom is with us, I think, math and science teacher at Kings Creek School. And Mrs. Brawley is also an administrative intern for the Caldwell County School System. Mrs. Frazier teaches the English Language Arts Social Studies portion of this class. And Melissa Costin is the principal at Kings Creek School. So let's see if we can find Jojo.
Oh, somewhere else.
Do you see him? Hi, welcome. You're here in front of the Board of Education and administrators, and Dr. Phipps, would you like to say something?
Say thank you, Jojo. So you're glad you could be forward.
JoJo's a little camera shy. Well, thank you for joining us. We're very proud of you, and let's give JoJo a big round of applause. And at the high school level, we have Allie Greer. Allie is at South Caldwell High School, and I see Mr. Little, the principal, has joined us from South Caldwell High School. And Allie is actually a student on Caldwell Connect. So I think she is joining us from home. So welcome, Allie. How important is being honest to you?
Extremely important.
Well, we thank you for demonstrating that and being a great example for your classmates at South Caldwell High School. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, we'd like to turn to our beta convention winners. You know, we've recognized elementary, we've recognized the high school beta winners, and we actually had 2 junior beta convention winners this year. Of course, they competed virtually. They don't have the in-person convention as of yet. So we'd like to recognize 2 students from William Lenore Middle School, and Lisa Baum, principal, is with us. Addison Elliott is a 7th grader, and she placed 5th in social studies. And Donald is a 7th grader who also placed 5th in the state in the area of math. The motto of Beta is let us lead by serving others. And it is definitely preparing our students to be leaders of tomorrow. They have to meet very high academic standards, maintain those, and they also have to post X number of service hours each year. So we are very, very proud of these students. So let's see, who do we have here? We have Donald. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And Addison Elliott, and there's her mother up there, one of our principals, Katie Elliott. Addison, I think you're on there as well, and I see Mrs. Vaughn, so, and there's Addison. So congratulations. We're very proud of you. And all of these students will receive a certificate of recognition from the school board here, and you'll also receive a medallion. So we're very proud of your accomplishments. At the high school level, we also had a student, Riley Carter. She is a sophomore at West Caldwell High School, and Riley finished 10th in the state out of 764 entries. That's pretty impressive. In the North Carolina Department of Transportation Aviation Art Contest. And Riley's artwork will be displayed by the North Carolina Museum of Art in Raleigh. So Kevin Abey is her art teacher, and Craig Styron, of course, is principal at West Caldwell High School. They're very proud of this student, Riley Carter. And I think that maybe Mr. Styron, there he is, Mr. Styron's with us.
I don't see the student though.
And
There she is.
there she is. Good. Welcome. We're very proud of you. Congratulations, Mr. Styron. Do you want to say anything about this great student? And Mr. Abey couldn't be with us because he's also the golf coach. And I think we have a state contender in golf. So he is with that student today. So, Mr. Styron?
Oh, definitely. Anytime I can talk about Riley, just such an amazing talent and so humble. I asked her if she could paint a self-portrait of me and make me handsome, and she is just so honest. She said, I'm not even that good. So she's an amazing talent. Would love to give her an opportunity to speak as well. But thank you guys, and appreciate what you do.
Thank you, and congratulations, Riley.
Unless you want to speak.
Riley, would you like to say a few words?
I'm very proud of this, and I'm actually going to get to go see my artwork in the museum in a couple weeks.
Very good. Well, take pictures because we're going to share those here in Caldwell County. All right, 2 thumbs up. And I know they have their graduation coming up on the 22nd at 12 noon. So they're getting ready for that and very excited. North Carolina Governor's School nominees and selections. The Governor's School of North Carolina, and we did not do this last year because of COVID, so that gives us some promise that things are getting back to normal slowly and step by step. It's a 5.5-week program. It's a residential program for gifted and talented students. We had 8 students who were actually more than that. We had 10 students who were actually considered for this high status of academic involvement. And they will focus on curriculum. They will focus on recent ideas and concepts in each of their discipline. And it does not involve credit, test, or grades. So it really is a school of thought to really take a deeper dive into their discipline. The students who will be appointed to go to Governor's School Campus East, that is on the Meredith College campus. And then Governor's School West is on High Point University campus. So we do have a little mix of that. We're very proud of these students. So I'm going to announce the students who were nominated from the early college high school and from High Brighton High School. We have Kylie Green in English from early college, Bailey Smith, early college, social science, and Chandler Dixon, early college and visual arts. And Meredith Griffin is the principal. And then from High Brighton High, we have Avery Gilbert, math, Nathaniel Wright, High Brighton High in math, and Callie Miller, High Brighton High in theater. And I think Callie is with Mrs. Wright. And they've joined us, yes. They're in their highway room there, so welcome. And we're very proud of you. The students who were actually selected, and it is a rigorous selection process, these students will actually be attending that 5.5-week summer academic experience this summer. And we will start with Catherine Wisnett at High Brighton High, and she has selected English as her discipline. She will be attending the East Campus, and she's not on campus today. As a matter of fact, Mrs. Wright told me that most of these students who I announced from High Brighton, they're taking college courses. So they are very focused academically. And I'll just mention the rest. The other 3 students, Leah Boff from South Caldwell High School in English. She will be on the East Campus. Rachel Krippner, South Caldwell High School, will be focused on math on the West Campus. And Quentin Curtis, South Caldwell High School, will be in the discipline of natural science on West Campus. And all 3 of our South Caldwell High School students are in Mrs. Callahan's class right now. So there they are. So congratulations to these. And I think this class is an honors, one of those easy classes, honors chemistry class. So they're all sitting there in honors chemistry class. Would you like to say something about what you're looking forward to in Governor's School?
Well, we know it's going to be a very rewarding experience, and we're very honored to have been chosen for this, and we're very excited to be able to go.
Well, we are excited for you, all of our students who were nominated, and the 4 that will represent the Caldwell County school system this summer at Governor's School. So we're very proud of you. Congratulations to all of you, and we know it's going to be an exciting summer. So let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you for joining us. Chairman Pickle?
Thank you, Mrs. Brown. And certainly, again, congratulations to each of you. Indeed, a very high honor to be able to do what you're going to be doing this summer. On the agenda, the next item is public comment, and we do not have any public comment today. And so we'll move on with the agenda. And I call on the Auxiliary Services Associate Superintendent Church.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Phipps, we have one item we're approving today. At our April meeting, The board approved the addendum to the copier services agreement, adding paper cut to our copier service. And this is simply the statement of work approved, defining the responsibilities of each party. I respectfully request the approval as presented.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the statement of work to add paper cut program to the copy machines throughout our district as presented by Dr. Church?
Chairman Bill, I make a motion to approve the statement of work to add paper cut program to copy machines in the district.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, does anyone have any questions? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Church, appreciate it. And next, I call on Human Resource Services Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Bill Griffin.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chair Branch, members of the board, Dr. Phipps. I have 4 items before you this evening. First one I'd like to begin with is subject A, Human Resources, usual and customary informational items. These items require no attention in this time. Any questions about those? The next would be our Human Resources, usual and customary action items. These are contracts. I respectfully request a motion to approve Human Resources, usual and customary action items contracts as presented this afternoon.
Do I hear a motion to approve the Human Resources Services usual and customary action items as they relate to contracts?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the human resources usual and customer service items as presented.
Is there a second? Any comments?
Chairman Pennell, I need to recuse myself from voting.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to subject C, Human Resources, usual and customary personnel action items. This is our substitute list. I respectfully request motion to approve Human Resources, usual and customary personnel action item, our substitute list as presented this afternoon.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the Human Resource Services usual and customary action item, the substitute list as presented by Dr. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much. And finally, our May board transfers for the school year 2021 and 2022. Total transfers requested are 45. Transfers recommending board approval are 26. Transfers not recommending board approval 19, for a total of 1,349. I respectfully request a motion to approve the May board transfers for the school year 2021, 2022.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the May board transfers for 2021-22?
Chairman Pennell, make a motion to approve the May board transfers for 2021-2022.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin. Appreciate it. Next, Dr. Katrina McKellen, Education Program Services Assistant Superintendent.
Good afternoon, Chairman Pennell, Vice Chair Branch, members of the Board of Education, and Dr. Phipps. This afternoon, I come before you asking for approval of the assurances related to year 2 of the Caldwell County Schools Career and Technical Education Local Application. So last year in June of 2020, Mrs. Libby Huff presented the 2-year CTE local application plan to the Board of Education. The Department of Public Instruction, normally we present the plan every year, but the Department of Public Instruction has changed to a 2-year plan. But associated with the 2-year plan, we have found that we have the assurances with the plan that have to be approved annually. So there's nothing in the plan that has changed. We're still moving forward with the programs that she presented to you last school year. She's continuing to monitor and evaluate her programs. We're continuing to see an increase in credentials and looking at the things that we have to meet that local application plan. So this is just kind of the technical piece of saying that we say that we are going to meet all the assurances, the technical assurances that go along with the plan. So this afternoon, I respectfully request your approval of the assurances for the CTE local application plan for the 2021-2022 school year, which is year 2 of the 2020-2022 CTE local application.
Very good, very good. Do I hear a motion that we approve the 2021-2022 local application for our career and technical education program as presented by Dr. McKellar?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the 2021-22 assurances of the local application for career and technical education as have been presented by Dr. McKellar.
Is there a second?
Second.
Anyone have any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Dr. McKellar. Next, we have our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. David Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell, board members, Dr. Phipps. I have 2 amendments tonight under item 10, budget amendment number 14 for the state public school fund. It's in the amount of $157,034. It's a reduction in the state teaching allotment and the allocation of summer reading camp funds. And budget amendment number 15, which is for the federal grant fund. It's an increase of $585,584. It's some primarily changes made to the PRC 163, which would be ESSER 1. Request these amendments be approved as submitted. If they're approved, will bring the total budget for Caldwell County Schools to $141,235,180.20.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve amendments 14 and 15, those being the state public school fund as well as the federal grants fund as presented by Mr. Johnson?
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve amendments 14 and 15, state public school fund and the federal grants fund as presented.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Anyone have any comments or any questions of Mr. Johnson? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson, appreciate it. Next, I'll turn it over to our superintendent, Dr. Don Fitch.
Down, what I have for you tonight would be respectfully requesting the approval of the North Carolina School Board Association Spring 2021 Board Policy Manual revisions. Again, this is routinely done. These are sent to us by the School Board Association to reflect changes in the law and other things we need to be aware of. And these have been up for a comment period, and I would like to request at this point that they be approved.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the North Carolina School Board Association Spring 2021 Board Policy Manual revision as has been on the table for 30 days and as presented by Dr. Phipps?
I move that we approve the board policy revisions as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions of Dr. Phipps? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Phipps. Next item on the agenda is closed session. Do I hear a motion that the board goes into closed session?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we go into closed session to discuss confidential personnel matters pursuant to the reasons listed on our current agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We will be in closed session for a short period of time, and we do not expect any action when we return. So we'll be back shortly.